Hey everyone, it is time to start Zendikar Rising's pre-release events. I have run a handful of these already to try and get a feel for what this format looks like, and I've determined that removal is very important. Pretty hard removal too. There's a lot of red burn, but it doesn't always get the job done for me. So I'm finding myself leaning towards white and black because they have some of the strongest hard removal, but there's some good stuff in blue too. This pool is kind of all over the place in terms of colors, so we'll have to look at the commons and uncommons to see what's worth building around. I think Nahiri is quite good for limited. Getting core tokens is good enough. And there's plenty of warriors to build with her too, so the -2 is relevant. Let's see. Shadow's Verdict. Could be good. There's a lot of good stuff at the 3 and less range. The recursion hate here, the stuff getting it out of graveyards is nice for constructed. It's not a big deal in limited in my experience so far, though. Grakma seems very good. He comes in as a 3/3, and when he dies, he's going to make a 3/3. But if I have other stuff dying, he grows, so that's exceedingly good. Might end up looking at green-black. Madden Cacophony, they mill, potentially half their deck. Milling 8 is actually a pretty significant amount, so if I had something that recurred it, maybe, if we have a bunch of those Hedron Crabs, then we'll definitely consider it. 8 is a full fifth of their deck, and since they're drawing usually down to, 33 at the start, it's more like a quarter of their deck, so that's pretty good for a 2-mana spell. Agadeem's Awakening, return. Yeah, I mean, this is just going to get played in place of the lands if we're playing black, and we'll get somewhere between 1 and 4 creatures. You know, I've cast these 7-mana spells before for X=4, and it's just really good at the end of the game, so we'll probably be playing it if we're in black. And Royal Chaser, she's got haste, and I think the ability is pretty good. Discounts on spells helps you cast really big kicker costs, and there are some good ones. So this really depends on what we see in our pool. Like always, I'm going to look for consistency, what we have multiples of, like this Prowling Felidar here. That can be pretty good. Felidar is not bad, especially if you got good control. They grow as threats over time, they attack pretty well, but you need to be able to pair it with removal. Alright, so we got Practice Tactics, Warrior Equips, Dauntless Unity. This has been an okay card in my experience. The healer has actually been really good for me too. Just 2/2 for 2 is fine to hold the fort, and it's a cleric that they don't necessarily want to spend removal on, so it helps build your party. Core Celebrant's been extremely good. The 1/4 stat body is very powerful. We don't really seem to have a lot of warrior synergy for this paired tactician. Season Raptor's cool for landfall effects like this Prowling Felidar. Journey to Oblivion, yeah, that's solid removal. Stampede, basically all of these modal lands I just replace in limited for my basics, so it's nice to have. +2/+2 with no effort including in your deck, very nice. Sometimes you'll draw it and it's a land, sometimes it will let you swing for Weasel, so I strongly approve. And Shepherd of Heroes, nice stabilizer, life gain, and beat stick, so it's fine. Chilling Trap. I actually like this card if you've got a good amount of wizards. If you don't have wizards, then no. But if you do have wizards, this is pretty great. We got a Duelist. I don't really like the Duelist much, unless you're in the mill. 2 Deliberate. Okay. Into the Royals, good. Maddening Cacophony we talked about. Well, this Royal Mage kicks for 6 to put that back in our hand, and we've got 2, so that's a start for recurring it. Geyser Mage, he's okay. I'm not going to say he's bad. I would play him in blue, but I've always experienced 6 mana for this effect to be too much in this format. Usually the pressure is on, so in a deck that can present its own aggressive threats, yes, I would be happy with that. Blue is not really like that in my experience, though. Blue is much more of a sit back and try and control things. Some card draw, some Visions. Well, this can help us get that Maddening Cacophony. Huh. I mean, it's a dumb strategy. I do not have any other mill support here. Not even good like rogues for it. Let me check down here, see if we have like 2 of those blue black rogues. We have 0 of the blue black rogues. I don't think that strategy is going to pay off. We do have Umara Mystic, which is really good. We've got some wizard support actually, so we might end up being in blue. Blue-red. It depends on how our red pool goes. Let's keep looking. Alright, so this returns a creature to our hand. If it's kicked, return 2. I think that's very good in this format, actually. Yeah, just being able to fight through the removal and getting back whatever party creature you need is sweet. Gloom Hunter's always been good. He's so easy to cast at 5 for... it's 6, sorry. I always think he's 5. Less good, but still 3/3 lifelink. Very nice if you're not about to die. 1 Subtle Strike. Good for the counter synergies. Mucklord. Hybrid Constrictors. I have not played with this card. So it's a 2/2. Each creature with a counter on it has Menace. It seems really mediocre unless you're really into the 2/2 or the counter strategy. Mind Drain's sweet though. I approve of Mind Drain. Shadowcat is good on the 1/1 counter synergies. So we actually have some like 1/1 counter synergy stuff going on, which is gonna tie in really nicely with Grakmaw. So we may end up doing that. I'm liking that approach so far. Oh, for some reason I was thinking the Highborn Vampire was a 5 mana 4/3. I was thinking like he was a 5/3 like Zombie Goliath, but that is not so. A Piece of Hard removal, very good. Even if you have no allies, this card is super playable. Silent the Swarm. He's so disappointing at 5 mana. Like this used to be a 3 mana 2/3, but it is what it is. So our black is okay. Could be deeper, I feel like, but it really could be deeper. This is the extent of our counters support, really. But it's got some removal. I haven't hard cast his off consumption yet, but I feel like it's a good top deck. Drain 4 is always welcome and limited. So we got a Coom Hellhound. He is okay if you are very focused on that landfall. We've got one of those rocks that helps earlier. This Tazim Raptor. I've had a lot of success pairing those, but I'm not feeling it. I have played a very successful red-white deck, but I don't like this strategy. It's too all-in. Sizzling Barrage, good removal. Royal Eruption, good removal. Ardent Electromancer is more wizard, so that blue-red wizard is looking okay. Champion's good if you have warriors, but we don't really. Geopede I like. He's got trample, so that's always nice. I haven't really played with a Night Runner. Deals combat damage, exile a top card, you may play it. I don't like that. He's a rogue, though. Scorch Runner's okay. He's really marginal. Sometimes he's okay, but a lot of the times he just doesn't get there for me. Helium's good. Alright, well, there's some stuff. Don't really want to go 3 colors, even though there's this black, red, blue. 3 colors has not worked for me very well. It's hard to fit. There's not much fixing unless you get really lucky with pathways. Pack Beast is basically the only fixing, besides green search. But if we're green, go black, green, something else, we might be able to. So we got Reclaim the Wastes, party +1 counters. I think that's pretty fair. Once you've exhausted some of the removal. Lightblade is excellent. There's so many big creatures, just having him around is good. It's a fine land for the counters strategy. More counters strategy. Alright, so green is pitching in here. Rabid Bite, very good. I've lost a lot of games to Rabid Bites. We don't really have kicker in black and green. We've got a bit of green kicker, actually. We've got the Might of Marasa, Reclaim the Wastes, Roiling Regrowth. Get some lands into play. Good for landfall. We don't have a lot of landfall in these colors. Oh, Territorial Scythecat's good. Bayloss good. Zendikar's okay. I haven't really seen people running it, but I have a strong suspicion it's just fine. Like, it's a 4 mana 4/4, sometimes with haste. And when it dies, you get more landfall. So, and aesthetic's very good. Just big, beefy thing. All right, so I think our green is very, very playable. I think the black-green is a go. So, let's start tossing stuff in. Reclaim the place might be okay. We'll look at that if we're going to splash. Right now I want to start throwing these in. Oh, 2 survivors. That's cool. Gecko, yeah, that's fine. Oh. I'll come back to it. I want to play him, but we need some kicker here, and I don't see it yet. Regrowth is going to be fine with 2 Scythe Cats and Baloth. Yeah, we've got a good green start here. Need 9 black playables. Beckoning could be good. See, getting back... See, the problem with landfall stuff is replaying it later at the end of the game is not good. I don't want to pull back territorial Scythe Cats after they've died. But I think we'll want this. Counters and kicker. Counters and removal. I think I'd rather go with the constrictors. We will play Mind Drain because that can really kick people. The 2-for-1 is just solid. Highborn Vampire I'm putting in as a high power creature for Rabid Bite and just to put on some pressure. Skycat obviously goes in. Deadly Alliance obviously goes in. Scion of the Swarm is a flyer. We don't have any life gain. We've got the Gloom Hunter and that's it. Mind Drain. Yeah, it is a flyer. I guess it's going to depend on our curve, so I'll toss it in. Don't think I want to do Shadow's Verdict. We got a good amount of stuff in graveyard removal. This is going to go in as the land. This is going to go in as the land. All right, so it looks like we're 43. We're actually going to cut out 3 lands, so we're right on the dot for where we're going to end up being. Final question is, did we get enough kicker for Gecko? It is a 2/2, and it synergizes with counters. I've got 1 kicker, 2 kicker, 3 kicker. Do I see 4? No. It's really questionable to me. I don't think I'm gonna do it. We don't have enough instants and sorcery. Relic Amulet is just so slow, I think. Like, you pay 4 mana to deal some damage. You gotta cast like 3 spells before it'll be good. And then 4 mana for 3 damage. I'd play it, but I just don't think that this is the deck that will want Relic Amulet. Spare Supplies is okay. I don't think our deck needs it. We're already pretty full. Pack Beast, we have a couple party mechanics. We've got Deadly Alliance, and that's it. Yeah, okay, we don't care about parties. Cool. I'm not going to worry about it then. Pack Beast is a very, 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 very strong card in this format. Just not for our deck. Don't ever underestimate the Pack Beast. Let's see. Knife. Is Knife worth playing? Make all of our guys stronger. Like any one of them. I mean, I do like Utility Knife. We've got No, I think this is going to be our deck. We can put the Mucklord in place of like a Constrictor. I don't see that being what I want. I do kind of want this knife, though, because these constrictors are going to make it more appealing to have a large creature that trades up. Let's see. What would be good to cut for it? Oh, there's a party mechanic. Okay, so we do have a little bit of party. We've got a rogue, warrior, warrior, cleric at the top. I'm actually going to take this out. I think there's going to be too many times it's a dead card. That's unfortunate, but that's okay. Alright. Let us attempt this. We'll see how it goes. I've had some very successful sealeds and a lot of unsuccessful sealeds, during which I decided that you kind of have to play removal. And if you don't have removal, you're going to be at someone else's mercy. This is a very slow hand, but we're going first, so maybe it's okay. This Scythe Cat will be quite decent when we roil and regrowth. Oh, I'd like a Shambler. A Shambler, let's see, makes insects and grows over time. Okay. This is why you need removal. So I have the option to kill it right now when he goes to put a counter on it, but I'd rather get my own board. Maybe I'll regret that later, but it feels like a waste to do this subtle strike. And it would give him a, yeah, it would give him a token anyways. So that's trample. Let's see if he vanquishes the weak. I've been hit by many vanquish the weaks over the course of my sealed events. It seems like everyone is playing black because it's got the best removal. Alright, he's playing white. White has Lithoform Stasis, I think is the name. It's the 3 mana. Okay. Seems good. He's going to opt to put it on the Shambler. Interesting. Alright, so the Shambler is a 4/4. And chooses to attack. I think we can probably race that. It's a 3/3 then, since he did not. I wonder if he's got a white. Let's see. So instead of rolling regrowthing right now, I'm going to... Well, do I want to rolling regrowth or just Grakmaw? This white is a it's a combat trick. It's the deal damage equal to twice the number of characters in your party. Which means that my best play is to go ahead and swing. Let's see if we can get a good 2-for-1 here. No, nothing. Alright. I thought that was the reason you decided to go ahead and attack, but it was not. So we'll play Grakmaw. And we'll just go in for a good creature brawl. Our stuff's going to get bigger over time. His Shambler has to stop attacking in order to grow. We'll see how this goes. That Lithoform would be pretty good against Grakmaw, though. Hopefully he's what he's going to play. Or Sullivan. Also pretty good. So I could go for the Lithoform, or the Zendikar now and just swing with that. I think Regrowth leaves me with 2 mana. I like that. The Shambler is the only threat on the board right now. in terms of stuff that's going to be a problem, which means that he's probably got some bombs in his hand I really need to be conserving resources for. Unfortunately, I just don't have my kill spells available right now. Alright, this still I think is a prepared prepared ambush or whatever, the coordinated assault maybe it was. I forget the name. It's 1 mana, deal damage equal to twice the number of creatures in your party. Okay, I'll trade. Okay. Now the question is, do I trade, kill this, and put the counter on him, or do I shrink this, give him an insect token, and keep Grakmaw? I think keeping Grakmaw is the better option here. So we'll give him a blocker. Our stuff's got trample, it's fine. Alright, -1, -1, +1/+1. Gets some life, gets a blocker, but loses his guy, and Grakmaw's a 4/4 now. So we got some beefy guys. He's gonna need to find some removal, and if he has it, then that'll suck for us. Could play something crazy like the Ashaya, I think it's called, the green 5-drop that turns all your stuff into lands. Didn't realize when I was doing my set review that it counts the lands that your creatures become in its power and toughness, so it's very big. It's pretty crazy. Alright, he is still leaving up this white here. I still don't trust it. Unfortunately, I don't have the combat trick anymore for it. So that's probably going to be lethal for one of our creatures. Seems fine to me. Vastwood Fortification. Alright, so he's got Warrior, Cleric, Warrior. So this fortification actually is going to be very unpleasant for him. Yeah. Let's oh, okay. Let me do it like this. So I don't target a land that that is then tapped. And let's just let's continue the punchies. If he tries to kill Grakmaw with a 4 damage, then we will Vastwood Fortification. If he tries to trade, we will Fortification. Doesn't look like he wants to. Fine with me. There's gotta be some sort of trick here. +2/+2. I think that's okay. I'll spend this to trade with the captain. So that's what he's been trying. He's been trying to go for combat, but we've just gotten too much, too big. Alright, we did it. He did not have hard removal for us. Cool. We're almost at the end of our supplies there. So I'm glad that those got there. I feel like I was relying a little too heavily on Grakmaw. Good card, not a game-ending bomb, just good tempo. So I've gotta be careful about that. It's probably worthwhile to trade him for a 3/3, given the opportunity. Alright. Again, pretty slow, but we have Deadly Alliance, which is great. Scion might be good late, so as long as we aren't overrun by like a red-white Warriors deck, this should be okay. Doing alright. More expensive stuff, which is, I guess, good if we're not gonna lose early. This is a very difficult format to determine how tall you should go. I've been having that trouble a lot, though, lately. I think I'm actually just going to play the Gloom Hunter, because we've got a lot to do later game. So I'm going to try and aim for a bit of mana efficiency here. I don't know if that's right. No, it's a bit stronger. Alright. Go ahead, do the Survivor. And I'm willing to bet he will not trade here. Yeah. Yep. Taborax is a little strong. As long as he doesn't do that, like, plague, the Plague Crafter guy where each player sacks a creature, I should be able to Rabid Bite Taborax next turn. Or maybe I'll just go Haggard Constrictor and build my board a bit. Alright, he did not. So now I've got to decide between Rabid Biting right now or building my board a little bit longer. I do have Deadly Alliance, so if things go wrong, I can still shoot it down. I don't need the Menace right now, so I'm actually just going to make a big guy. He makes a big attacker. I'm guessing a Rabid Bite might actually be really terrible here. I didn't think about how big the Geopede would be. Not awful, though. Alright, Geopede big. He opts not to... of course, the Geopede can't block very well because it's a 3-1. So we'll take some damage and get back with our life linking. This early Gloom Hunter with the Dauntless Survivor turned out to be very good for us. I'm guessing... Okay, this might just be... Yeah. That's fair. I'm not exceptionally worried about that. So I've got some good options. I can play the Scion and force him to block here. I still don't think he will. Let's test it, though. I either get to trade for his bomb, or get to grow my Scion. Yeah, I don't think he had a choice there. I'm okay with that. As long as he doesn't have more burn for this Scion, things will be okay. And if he does, you know, we're going card to card, so... he may not have enough to finish out the game. We'll just need to get something like a Grakmaw to give us a little advantage and get back in. Alright, cool. The Geopede's got... yeah, that is a strong Geopede. No jokes. I think that's going to be our Rabid Bite target. That leaves us up Deadly Alliance mana. Let's just go ahead and try that. He may go for the Indestructible, which case we'll just Deadly Alliance it. Yes, okay. That was a good play from him. That's very strong. It's a good thing we had both of these. So now we'll get in, bring us both to 12. I can't block his Constrictor. I've got my own Constrictor, though. I think I outrace him until he plays something hasty. Red's got some dangerous cards. Pyroclastic Helion. Dangerous. I think that's an appropriate trade. Racing my 4 to his 2. 4 to his something. Alright, we'll just empty our hand and hope for the best. So this goes to 6 from landfall, 8. If he attacks with either of them, then he can't block my guys unless Hogger Constrictor dies. Guess it just depends on what his last card is there. Could be a pump spell. I'm gonna let it through. If it's a pump spell, he gets us. If it's fling, he gets us. Dauntless Survivor. Alright, he was bluffing. Good play. I appreciate the chance to win there by making us hedge our bets and go for a suboptimal play. It was very good, but ultimately he did not have the card to win. Alright, so a good start for our green-black deck. I like how it works. We got a lot of the good support for it. A lot of counters everywhere. We'll take a quick break and be back later with the next few episodes or next few games.